Good morning. Today I'm going to read Those Shoes by Mary Beth Phillips. As I read, I'll stop sometimes to let you in on my thinking. Good readers don't just say the words, they ask questions, notice details, make connections, and sometimes even reread. I'll show you what that looks like today when I read the story. Those shoes. I have dreams about those shoes. Black high tops, two white stripes. I'm thinking Jeremy doesn't just want those shoes, he dreams about them. That tells me they're really important to him. I wonder why he wants them so badly. Maybe because other kids have them, or maybe they stand for something more, like being cool or fitting in. Why does Jeremy want these shoes so much? What words tell me how strong his desire is? Grandma, I want them. There's no room for want around here, just need, Grandma says. And what you need are boots for winter. Hmm, this is interesting. Grandma draws a line between want and need. I think that's going to be really important later. I wonder how Jeremy feels hearing that. Probably disappointed, or maybe even embarrassed. It makes me think of times when I really wanted something, but my parents said no because the money was tight. How does the author show Jeremy's feelings without saying sad or mad? What's the difference between a want and a need? Brandon T comes to school in those shoes. He says he's the fastest runner now, not me. Nate goes to school in those shoes. Antonio and I count how many times Nate goes to the bathroom. 7 times in one day, just so he can walk up and down the hall real slow. Wow. So now all the kids around Jeremy are getting those shoes. That makes his wanting even stronger. I notice the author shows how Jeremy is paying close attention, even counting how many times someone shows off their shoes. That tells me he feels left out. Why did the author include the detail about Nate going to the bathroom 7 times? Maybe to show how powerful peer pressure is. Then one day, in the middle of kickball, one of my shoes comes apart. Mr. Alfrey helps me find the only shoes that are my size. Velcro, like the ones my little cousin wears. They have an animal on them from a cartoon I don't think any kid ever watched. Oof, I can feel Jeremy's embarrassment here. These aren't the shoes he dreamed about. They're kitty shoes. I'm thinking this is where the theme of pride and fitting in gets really strong. How would I feel if I had to wear shoes that other kids might laugh at? When I come back to the classroom, Alan Jacoby takes one look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes and laughs, and so do Terrence, Brandon T, and everyone else. The only kid not laughing is Antonio Parker. That's important. Everyone laughs except Antonio. I'm noticing that the author is pointing to a clue. Antonio might be important later in the story. Black shoes with two white stripes, high tops, perfect shape. $2.50, those shoes. Here's the big moment. Jeremy finally finds them. I can tell by the capital letters and the way the text is laid out that this is really exciting. My heart is pounding with Jeremy. I shove my foot into the first shoe, curling my toes to get my heel in. I don't know, but I think they fit. Grandma kneels on the floor and feels for my toes. Oh, Jeremy, I can't spend money on shoes that don't fit. This didn't make sense at first. Why would Jeremy say they fit if they don't? So I reread that part and I realized he wants them so badly he's willing to lie to himself. That makes me think sometimes we want something even when it's not right for us. Why did the author make the shoes too small instead of just too big or just right? I buy them anyway with my own money and I squeeze them on and limp to the bus stop. I'm noticing a cause and effect here. Jeremy's choice is already causing pain. I wonder how long he can really keep wearing them. This shows me that sometimes when we make choices with our hearts, not our heads, it doesn't work out. One day during math, I glance at Antonio's shoes. One of them is taped up, and his feet look smaller than mine. Oh, now I see where this is going. Antonio needs shoes even more than Jeremy does. I think this is where Jeremy starts realizing wants versus needs in real life. We shoot baskets. A loose piece of tape on Antonio's shoes smacks the concrete every time he jumps. I think I'm not going to do it. We leap off the swings. I'm not going to do it. This is the climax. Jeremy's arguing with himself. I can almost feel the pressure building. I wonder if he'll give Antonio the shoes, even though he wanted them so much himself. Before I can change my mind, the shoes are in my coat. I put the shoes in front of his door, push the doorbell, and run. Wow, Jeremy finally made the choice. This makes me think about how generosity sometimes means giving away the thing that means most to us. What's more important, having what you want or helping someone else? At school, Antonio was smiling big in his brand new shoes, standing in line to go to recess. Antonio leans forward and says, "Thanks." I smile and give him a nudge. "Let's race." This ending makes me think the story isn't about shoes at all. It's about friendship, generosity, and figuring out the difference between what we want and what we really need. If I had just read the words quickly, I might have thought this was a story just about those shoes. But stopping to think aloud helped me notice Jeremy's feelings, the author's choices, and the bigger theme. That's what good readers do. They make the invisible thinking visible.